Now, speaking of the Recovery Act, as you heard from Allison, they were one of the recipients of a Recovery Act grant, as were several other companies here in Indiana, Interdel, Delphi, and Remy, among the others. But the really significant thing about the Recovery Act for the American electric vehicle industry is it has allowed us to help support the development of a U.S.-based manufacturing supply chain. Before the Recovery Act, only 3% of the lithium-ion battery production capacity in the world resided in the United States. Because of the Recovery Act, investments in material suppliers, in cathode manufacturers, in anode manufacturers, in cell manufacturers, in battery assemblers, in electric component drive manufacturing systems, we now have about, we're developing the capabilities to develop about 20%, to manufacture about 20% of the world's lithium-ion battery capacity, and to have a U.S.-based manufacturing industry that will support our needs in this area. This sort of outlines both our cost goals and what we see in the way of production capacity for batteries and vehicle capacity. The column on the left shows battery cost in the 2008 to 2009 time frame. Vehicle-sized lithium-ion batteries are about $1,000 to $1,200 per kilowatt hour. Today, that price has fallen to about $600 to $700 a kilowatt hour as there's been use of improved battery chemistries and improved manufacturing volumes. The 2012 goal is for $500 a kilowatt hour, and then, the 2015 goal is for $300 a kilowatt hour for battery cost. And we see that happening. Looking at the two columns in the middle, the Recovery Act I've mentioned, and the other one, the ATVM, is the Advanced Technology Vehicle Manufacturing Grant Loan Program. Between those two, we have been investing in helping to support the development of battery manufacturing capacity in the United States. And those are the number of kilowatt hours of automotive-sized batteries that are either in production or planned up through 2015. So by 2015, we will have the capacity to produce about 10 million kilowatt hours per year of automotive scale lithium-ion batteries. On the far right is the announced production capacity for various automotive manufacturers for plug-in hybrid and all-electric vehicles. As you can see, this is a cumulative number, so that by 2015 there's been announced plans for manufacturing of over 1.2 million plug hybrid and electric vehicles into the United States. And this was before GM announced the expansion of their Volt manufacturing facility. So it looks like we should, by 2015, have the capacity to produce well over 1 million vehicles on the road. The catch is, we got to find people to buy these vehicles. Before I get off the Recovery Act, I thought I would, since I was here in Indiana, I thought I'd put up a little chart to sort of give you an overview of the investments that have been made in Indiana through the Recovery Act projects. Of course, the advanced vehicles line there is what we've been discussing thus far, but there's also been investments here in grid modernization, energy R&D, advanced coal, and the others, as you can read. So Indiana has had fairly substantial investments from the Recovery Act, and I don't have the exact numbers, but I suspect has been one of the major investment areas for this effort. Now, the President in the State of the Union address said that he wanted a goal of 1 million electric vehicles on the road by 2015, And as you saw on my previous slide, it looks like that at least we have the capacity to do that. The batteries manufactured in the U.S. and the vehicles manufactured and sold in the United States. But we've got to do more, and we've got to keep pushing if this is going to happen. And we've got to remember that 1 million vehicles on the road by 2015 is a milestone, not an endpoint. A million plug-in hybrid and electric vehicles on the road at 2015, if we had them, would represent 0.4% of the U.S. vehicle fleet. So 1 million vehicles is sticking our toe in the water in this area. The issue is going to be having people willing and interested in buying these vehicles. And there's a number of policy initiatives that are in place to try to help make that happen. The first is the CAFE standards. As you know, EPA has introduced new CAFE standards that for the first time in many years is raising the required minimum fuel consumption for U.S. Passenger vehicles, and that those CAFE standards not only improve overall transportation efficiency, so that we use less oil no matter what vehicle people buy, but it also makes electric drive vehicles a more valuable strategy for vehicle designers. Second is we have in place a $7,500 tax credit for the purchase of electric vehicles, and there's been proposals to both extend this and turn this into a point-of-sale rebate to further stimulate consumer demand for electric drive and plug hybrid vehicles. And then the Advanced Technology Loan Program I talked about earlier. So, what has changed since the prior runs at electric vehicles? Well, one, the need has gotten more pressing. Although national needs for reduction in petroleum typically don't motivate individual car buyers, the batteries have gotten a lot better. I was interested to the discussion about ElectroCore. I was on the technology team with DARPA during the days of these early hybrid and electric drive vehicle development programs. So I was in here on the DARPA side as one of their technological support folks. And if you look at the batteries then and the capabilities then and compare them today, it's amazing how much improvement batteries have made, both in power, performance, and life. But there's still a lot more that needs to be done there. Fuel prices. Fuel prices despite all of our concerns about the impacts of fuel prices on the economy, fuel prices benefit this area. But I think the real difference today is momentum. Up until this point, you've seen individual companies sort of promoting or working on electric drive vehicles. A few companies, like Allison, have been at it for a long time. But today, every manufacturer is introducing some variant of electric drive vehicles. And whether the end state turns out to be hybrids, plug hybrids, or all electric vehicles, or even fuel cells, the movement is in the right direction, and I believe there's sufficient momentum to push us forward and to achieve the goals of making substantial reductions in both petroleum demand and greenhouse gas emissions reductions. Now, I've really enjoyed the opportunity to come here and talk to you all. If you're in the market for a new car, go down and drive one of these. I've driven the Leaf, I've driven the Volt. They're very nice cars. You might just help move us a step forward in the direction of petroleum independence with your next purchase. Thank you.